Hello people, in general anatomy, now let us look at skeleton, okay, skeletal anatomy. So basically this is the cadaveric anatomy, that means you're using a dead body or dead part, right, to to study anatomy. So here in the skeleton, main thing is you should know the skull, everybody knows, right, the ribs, I think everybody knows. Humerus, this bone is the humerus, guys, in your upper limb, and below this what they are showing you is the radius and the ulna. And in the palm you have the carpals, metacarpal, phalanges, etc. Then this is the pelvis, okay, hip pelvis. This is the femur. Femur is the longest bone. Then here you have the tibia which is medial, and the fibula is lateral, okay. And then here on the foot you have the metatarsals, okay, metatarsals. One thing that you are not seeing here is from the back side you can see something here called as the scapula. From the posterior, posteriorly you have scapula, which we have known, you can't see here. Okay, so this is basic bone names you should know. So the skeleton actually involves two things, guys. It involves the bone and cartilage. Okay, people. So what are we looking at? We are looking at general anatomy, in which we are looking at skeleton. Okay, and what they are saying you is you have bone and cartilage that makes up the skeleton. And what else you should know? It is the supporting structure. Basically what we didn't tell you is the spine, right? The vertebral column, that also you should know here, the spine vertebral column. And what else? So basically bone, guys, bone is a osteon. You can also say osteon for bone. And basically bone, it is a what? It is a connective tissue. If you remember the types of connective tissue, you have loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, specialized connective tissue. Under specialized connective tissue, you have bone and cartilage, right? Basically, bone will have what? Type 1 collagen, right? How will you remember that? Bone will have type 1 collagen because bone has ONE, okay? Bone has 1. So, type 1 collagen. Cartilage has cartilage, okay? That's why you can remember as type 2 collagen will be there in cartilage, okay? Okay, then what else you should know here? See guys, bone actually you feel like it is something that is, just a solid thing which doesn't have life. Actually bone is a living tissue. You should not forget, bone is a living tissue. And bone is the one that makes blood. It has bone marrow inside, right? Red bone marrow, yellow bone marrow. So bone is the one that makes your RBCs and makes your WBCs. Erythropoiesis happens where? In your bone. So bone is giving you blood, something that doesn't register in people's mind, isn't it? So there are some terminologies here you should know called as the axial skeleton, axial skeleton, and appendicular skeleton. Okay, so what is an axial skeleton? That is something that is in the center, isn't it? That becomes the axial. Interestingly, axial skeleton is only this much. It doesn't involve your hip. It doesn't involve the pelvis. So this is only axial, okay? So the skull bones, the facial bones, the hyoid bone here, right, in your neck. Then the ear ossicles also, that is the malleus incus stapes, the vertebral column, your thorax, your sternum, ribs, all this becomes your axial skeleton. I would have thought that, even this is included, but no. The pelvic, hip bone and all these are appendicular, okay? So your upper limb, lower limb, hip, everything will become hip, and lower limb, knee, everything will become your appendicular, okay? So only till here you can say the sacrum and all this will be your axial, okay? Total there are 206 bones, guys, and so quick things you should know about bone. Bone is made up of calcium, phosphate, right? And it can, all the muscles attached to this. So it will give you the structure, shape, support, right? And it will produce blood cells for you. What else? You have short bones and long bones, guys. The long bones you can see here, like femur, which is the longest. Then you have humerus, radius, ulna and radius, tibia, fibula. All these are long, isn't it? Long bones. So long bones will have diaphysis. They'll have a shaft, okay? And they'll have an epiphysis at both ends. Well, we'll look at these. So look at this. This is the diaphysis, right? And then here you have the metaphysis. And then you have the growth plate. And beyond the growth plate, you have the epiphysis, right? Which fuses. Epiphysis. So this is the diaphysis. So this is a typical long bone. And this long bone, how will the blood supply be? There will be a nutrient artery which will go here, and there will be hairpin bends here. That is where all the bacteria will go and sit. Okay. So this is how the bone gets its blood supply. There are also periosteal arteries. The bone is covered by what and all? Periosteum. See, if you take cross section of the bone of the long bone in the middle, what you'll get? You'll get periosteum outside, Sharpie's fibers, compact bone, then endosteum you have, and inside that you have bone marrow. Actually, red bone marrow, and then in adults it will become yellow. See, then you have the cortical bone and the cancellous bone. This is the cortical bone, and here at both ends of the long bone you have the spongy bone, which is cancellous bone. Okay, it will be spongy, cancellous bone. It will be. And in the middle, actually, in the medullary cavity, you have the bone marrow. And this is the cortical bone. In this, you can see that there is Haversian canal and Volkmann canal and all. This will be in the cortical bone. Haversian, oh, this is the cancellous bone you're seeing. Compact bone and cancellous bone, both they are showing. Anyways, you look at compact bone here. That is the cortical bone, right? In that, you have the Haversian canal and the Volkmann canal. Okay, in the middle, whatever you're having, that is the spongy bone or the cancellous bone, trabeculae of the thing. So don't get confused. Whatever Haversian canal, Volkmann canal you're seeing, that is in the compact bone. Okay. This is how the bone looks under microscope. So this is the histology. Okay. Microscopic morphology. What is TS? Transfer section. Very good. Some other terminologies you should know here, guys, like pneumatic bone. Okay. Pneumatic bone means, see, your skull, or you can say the skull is light than, it's not filled completely. It has air spaces inside. So that is pneumatic bone, okay? Like even your sphenoid bone, ethmoid bone, basically in your skull, okay? They make the skull light, okay? Air spaces lined by epithelium, okay? So that will be pneumatic. Pneumatic means what? Pneumo means air, right? So air filled, okay? That you got it. There's some other special things you should know, like sesamoid bone, okay? Sesamoid bone means they are like this. See, they ossify after birth. There is no periosteum. They have very limited blood supply. They're embedded in the tendon or joint capsule. Like this is the patella in your knee joint. Okay. So basically this is a what bone? Sesamoid bone. The other examples of sesamoid bones are like your pisiform right in your hand. Then what else? So pisiform you can remember. Patella and pisiform. Pisiform. Pisiform is around 11 years or something that it comes, right? You will read it in forensic. So it will determine age for you. So based on these bones that you see, right, and how fused they are, because most of these growth plates will close only at 18 years. So if these epiphysis is not joined with metaphysis, etc., you can know the age of the person. Even pisiform is one of the very good things. If you take hand X-ray, you can see whether the person's age is less than 11 or more than 11. So far, what and all have you looked at, guys? You looked at these terminologies: axial, appendicular. Then you saw long bone, short bone, and pneumatic bone, sesamoid bone. All this you have looked at. What else did you see? You saw that what are the parts of the bone, right? You saw compact bone, cancellous bone. Then you saw how the blood supply to the bone is. All this you have seen. Look at this, guys. This is a femur head, you can say. Femur, upper end of right femur they are showing here. There are some patterns that you can see. And these things you can even see in the X-ray. So this is how. So basically these are because of compression. Continuous lines, interrupted lines, okay, lamellae in sagittal section of the upper end of right femur. Sagittal section will divide anything into what? Anterior and posterior. This you have seen in the previous video. Whenever a fracture is healing, guys, like say this is, there's a fracture here, okay, between these two bone ends, okay, this bone has fractured. So here you will see a woven bone, okay, woven bone, fracture repair, W-O-V-E-N, okay, woven bone. So guys, bone makes blood cells, we told you, but understand that even it needs blood supply. There's a nutrient artery here, okay, then we told you there are periosteal arteries, there is epiphyseal artery, metaphyseal artery, so many types of arteries are there, and these have, look at this, there is hairpin bend here, this nutrient artery enters here, and there will be hairpin bend here. That is where all the bacteria will come and sit. Whereas nutrient artery will go through a nutrient foramen. So if you're holding a bone, you can see the hole through which the nutrient artery goes, okay. Next time when you're looking at a bone, just try to look for this nutrient foramen, okay. And there is anastomosis between the epiphyseal and metaphyseal arteries after the fusion of the epiphysis. Once this epiphysis fuses, then only, of course, there can be anastomosis. You know, even nerve supply they need, the bones. We never think, right, bone is such a living tissue, but actually bone is a living tissue. It needs blood supply, it needs all the nutrients, and there is something called as bone cancer also. Osteosarcoma and all that, wing sarcoma, chondrosarcoma, all very, very crazy things are there. Even bone has tumor. There are some concepts here that you have to know about the bones and all that. So understand here that there is primary ossification center. These are there before birth. Okay. And then you have secondary ossification center after birth. Okay. But there are a few exceptions to all this. And there's a law of ossification which you have to write here. Law of ossification is that secondary centers of ossification which appear first are last to unite. So let us understand this. Ossification, centers of ossification which appear first are last to unite. So let us say this is a bone, okay, and this appeared and then this appeared and then this appeared. So whichever is the first to appear is last to unite. Okay, that means to say whichever came last will unite first, right? So these two will unite and then this will unite and then this will unite. So this came first, but this is the last to unite, something like that, right? Another thing, like we told you, you can do age determination with bones, right? Also, you can check the time and cause of death with skeleton. Some bones, you know, like the skull or the, one more thing, the pelvis can tell you whether the person is a female or male. And if we give you a bone, you should be able to determine whether it's a human bone, if it is from single person or multiple people, the age of the person, you can tell the stature, the length of the person, the height of the person. You can be able to, you can also tell the time and cause of death. Cause of death could be a little slightly difficult, but yes, time of death probably. So you'll read all this in forensic science. Similarly, the textbook also covers about cartilage. So there are the comparison between bone and cartilage. Cartilage is firm, bone is hard, right? And cartilage will not have calcium salts. It will not have bone marrow and all that. And cartilage even doesn't have nerve supply, so it won't feel pain also. That's nice, right? There are three types of cartilage, hyaline cartilage, fibrocartilage and elastic cartilage. So each of this, you'll have to know the difference, guys. More information on the bones here, guys. Basically, bones need calcium, right? So if there is calcium or vitamin D deficiency, what will happen? Bones will suffer. Especially vitamin D deficiency in children will lead to something called as rickets, where there will be bowed legs. It will lead to what? Rickets. Vitamin D deficiency in children will lead to rickets. The same vitamin D deficiency in adult will lead to osteomalacia. Okay, because bowed legs is what ricket means. That won't be there in adults. Osteomalacia can also be there in children. Okay, but rickets is a very specific term for children. So in this video, you have looked at skeletal anatomy, general anatomy. We have looked at the main bones in skeleton, what bone is, what cartilage is, how many bones are there in our body, what is axial skeleton, what is appendicular skeleton. You have looked at what long bones are, short bones are, pneumatic bones, air spaces, sesamoid bone, patella, pisiform. You have looked at what compact bone is, what cancellous bone is. You have looked at what periosteum is, endosteum is. You have looked at the blood supply to the bone. Then you have looked at this compression lines, right? Then you have looked at primary ossification center, secondary, the law of ossification, vitamin D deficiency leads to rickets, vitamin D deficiency in children leads to rickets, in adults it leads to osteomalacia. Then you saw that bones can suffer from bone tumor, osteosarcoma, ring sarcoma, etc. Then you have looked at cartilage. They don't have nerve supply, they don't have any bone marrow or as such, they don't have calcium. And there are three types: hyaline cartilage, fibrocartilage and elastic cartilage. Okay. Cartilage has type 2 collagen. So don't get confused. Collagen is type 2. Right. What else? That's it. So far in general anatomy on skeletal system. Next is joints chapter. Come for joints. Okay. Bye bye.